Welcome back to another segment of ACRP TV. Today, our spotlight is on educating young people about clinical trials. My name is Michael Causey, and we're here with a special guest, Bridget Chapital, who's the director of the Hypothesis Haven Science Club. And you guys are doing something kind of cool and kind of interesting down there in Houston. Tell us about your program. I think you launched it in fall of 2019, reaching out to young people to educate them about clinical trials, right?
Yeah, I did. And I just want to thank you for having me on ACRP TV. And so Hypothesis Haven Science Club is the first and only health science education program that is specifically for elementary school students that uses clinical research as the platform to teach scientific thinking skills and innovation mindset that is going to be so necessary for leaders of the future.
Now, I know you and I talked before, and you guys started this, as I said, fall of 2019. You were doing some in-person after-school events. Obviously, COVID upended that, and you're doing things online now. Talk a little bit about the kind of programs you're doing, and I'm sure you're hoping to get back to in-person when you can.
Definitely. So like I mentioned, we provide that early exposure to elementary school students and take them behind the scenes of how scientists discover, treat, and cure illnesses. And so we do this in a number of ways. We have an after-school program that we offer at local elementary schools. And then we also do workshops and one-time events. And so, our very first event after the launch in fall of 2019, our very first actual event took place in February of 2020, so almost a year ago now. And right, and so it was an event that was in celebration of Heart Awareness Month. And so we really took the kids into like hands-on activities where they could model, different bypass procedures for, blood clots in the heart. We had them studying the clotting mechanism of platelet and how it plays in with heart disease. And so really just a lot of hands-on stuff. It was a really fun event. But then of course that very next month, COVID hit. And so we immediately kind of pivoted and took all of our workshops online. Which for a time worked really well because that was when schools had kind of shut down for a little bit and people were trying to figure out how to move forward. And so it's not even necessarily something that we had initially planned on doing, but it actually has been something that has worked out really well and that we probably will continue even in the future as things get back to normal. But we do provide summer camps in addition to after school programs. And so we're just working with schools and community centers in the Houston area to really kind of open that world of science to children in a different way than what they're used to. I think that as STEM has become sort of a buzzword lately with young children and how it benefits their learning, a lot of the programs that you find focus on things like robotics, or they focus on physical science, just chemical reactions and physical reactions. But we really want to focus just on the functionality and the physiology of how the body works, and then also the pathophysiology, which is how the body breaks down, and all of the really creative and innovative minds that are out there trying to solve these problems.
Well, I think it's just fantastic you're raising awareness of clinical trials. COVID, unfortunately, in a negative way, a silver lining, I guess, is it has raised awareness. But pre-COVID, almost nobody knew about clinical trials. Now people know a little bit more, young people less so. So this is really amazing what you're doing. I want to really thank you for this program and for joining us today. This has been our ACRP TV Spotlight on educating young people about clinical trials. And we've been speaking with Bridget Chapital, who's the director of the Hypothesis Haven Science Club. Bridget, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.